Hello everyone, I'm Chaotic and welcome back to Meatballcraft Dimensional Ascension. Today is episode 10 and we work on a bunch of blood magic, getting to creative flight, and also working on some nuclear craft chemical chains, which are kind of interesting. I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to begin doing some blood magic. So, we've somehow managed to avoid it. I am finally hitting the point though where it is going to gate me on more forward progress, because the Bloodmaster Tome, as you would expect from the name, does require blank slates, which is very basic blood magic. Very basic blood magic. But I figure today we're going to try to push through as much of the mod as I can. I'll fire Forge. So, in theory, we need 3 altars. We could also technically get away with just 2. Could just make 3. Could just say ball. Hit mobs with a rudimentary snare until the particles show, and then kill them to get demonic will. Pretty easy. Sacrificial dagger, if you stand near it, then you just right click, it'll just take HP away from you. Put a book on here. That gives us this guy. Okay. That's a pretty good size structure. That's pretty big. This will make 1 gem. So you should always make 2 gems whenever you're doing this with fire forges and such, because you need a gem itself of like a high enough will amount to upgrade each gem, so you might as well just make them in a duet like immediately. I set up what I could to outline the tier 6 altar. So we're going to need the weak blood shard, which needs the bound blade. The bound blade's going to require us to get binding reagent. Binding reagent's going to need a higher tier Tartaric gem. So we'll need at least a common, which is going to need a lesser. So we're actually going to need to go and get a bunch of will, is I guess what our first goal is. Figure I'll just use the sentient sword so that I can quick and small little detour. We went to the nether roof to farm will because most of the mobs up here have more HP than the overworld counterparts. 1 lesser Tartaric gem. And then we get our second lesser Tartaric gem. Binding reagent. We use the binding reagent and some arcane ashes to make a bound sword, which we need to get the weak blood shards for altar progression. I think that guy just dropped 2. I think 1 skeleton just dropped 2 of them. Yeah, he dropped 2 as well. Okay, yeah, he dropped 2 as well. I want to say this is a tier 5 altar already now. Master's Blood Orb, so weak blood shard, tier 4, 40,000 LP. There it is. Yeah, see? No capacity needed. Okay. An Archmage Blood Orb. Oh my god, we got it! I'm dying. My Vengeance Key. Bruh. I don't want 8 million LP worth of stuff to get access to the Will Crystal monolith. So then you get the reusables from the altar. And then see, but then the thing that you do later for your second key that you need 5 of instead of 8, those are 100k. This doesn't feel reasonable. I feel like these should have been the 1 million ones because they're after you get to the they're after you get into the monolith. That seems more reasonable. That's like, you know, you're further progressed at that point. And how do I make? How do I get a corrupted ingot? Corrupted essence. Okay, that's easy. Vile dust, that's easy. So the essences of darkness. So if I got enough for just 1 of these cages, the most annoying part will be the distillery. I'll need to set up like a small witchery or a bewitchment thing. I mean, just be here. So it generates moderately slowly for now. Okay. Athane. I do know that there's a thing called a statue for bewitchment too. Bottle of blood. So distillery, which requires power from an altar with hearts and glass bottles. Oh, I get a normal heart. I can trade with the hedge witch for it. Oh, perfect. Okay, they do. Cauldron. Make our witch's oven too. Activate block with item. Advertise enemy. Okay. This should start boiling. This one was real fast. Bottled hellfire. Fire, ungut, tallow, glass bottles, dragon blood. Bottled hellfire. We'll make a Lilith statue, I guess. It's because it added a lot to my total that I can acquire. A wither skull's a multiplier in our generation. Now it's going up while it's still doing its activities. Perfect. That's literally all we wanted. Cloud oil, glowstone dust, thunder pearls, dimensional sand. This will be otherworldly tears. Making a quick and easy alchemy table. So I accidentally, unfortunately, made 4 essences of darkness. I need other types though too. Oh my god, are those different things? I have by pure chance clicked on the essence of darkness all 4 times to make the soul cage. I have not realized that there's different essences. So then we decided to craft the essence of fear, the essence of solitude, and the essence of helplessness. And then we craft all of those together into make our soul cage finally. Okay, that works. Alright, got those guys stopped now too. Perfect. Ritual of culling. Okay, so I think if I put this guy down, I'm pretty sure if I put a lever on him, that spawned a lot more in than I expected. Oh yeah. Yeah, it works just as intended. So this was actually the end of the first stream. We do AFK overnight with our orb in there to fill with blood, and we also have it filling in a gargantuan drum worth of life essence too. But yeah, it's been pretty nice. So I think the plan today is I'm going to flesh out the rest of the stuff on the altar. So I'm going to get some more upgrades for it. So we want 19 accelerations to increase its tick speed to the max. Maybe some more displacement runes, depends on how like fast we're going. And then obviously a bunch of sacrifice runes. And the plan after that will be to build, I was originally going to build 3, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'd like to at least get to a tier 6 blood altar today, which is going to require us to go through the Will monuments. I don't want to cheese them like I know plenty of people do with like ender pearls and such. Even though it's annoying, I want to do it the legitimate way. So we take a small little detour while waiting on slates. We set up all of the encoded patterns to craft up the higher tier environmental tech miners. We break down our other miner. We dig a new spot to bedrock for where the biggest miner is going to sit. We make our tier 3 miner, and we set them up pretty quick, pretty easy. So as another detour while waiting on slates, we decided to start building up the actual structure for our tri-altar setup. I decided to go vertical with them because they have a really large base floor plan. That building them out, spread out, was just going to be a little bit too unwieldy. It came out pretty nicely though, big red theme structure. I hope you guys like it as you see it around. We actually decided to swap from the test locator to fluid lasers because they're both more efficient and they transfer 2.1 billion millibuckets per tick. Oh, you know what I want to do? I know what I want to do. I want to make the extra 24 IMI drives we'll need, set them all up, and then fill them out with like top tier storage cells. Alright, this will be all 32 channels. That was an extra 24 drives. Each drive holds 10 guys, so 240 cells. We're going to be batching these a lot over the next couple of episodes until we eventually fill out the system. Do them a drive at a time. Okay, 1.4 million millibuckets. But since it has a million, like more than a million in total in its internal storage, I can just do the craft one at a time. And this will hold plenty. Just once it gets over 1 million, we do one more again. For all 8. It should be fine. It's block and then slate, right? Yeah, block first. Slate after. Damn. Okay, that finishes extremely quickly. I actually think I could probably like do this a couple times to increase its speed. There you go. 8 million of our blood gone, but got all of our unstable fragments needed. Call to limbo. Took it out and kept it in my inventory just in case it was needed. Vengeance key. There we go. Nice. These seem slightly aggressive. I think I'm just gonna break all the spawners in this one, so I don't have to worry about them. Okay. So some Demon Will crystal clusters too, perfect. I haven't even actually set any of that up yet. Oh, and it gives you all the flavors. Wait, we're gonna get every flavor of crystal. Wait, that's huge actually. Because now we don't have to do the faceted crystal. The resonance of faceted crystal isn't needed. Hello? Nice to meet you guys. I need all these blocks in the corners. Give me a minute. Okay. That's all of these crystal clusters, which will be needed to make the crystal clusters we need for each altar in the retaliation key. When checking the recipe of the next key, I did realize that the blood-infused iron ingots do have an easier recipe by using the deep dark, so that's where we're going next. Couple 6-duple compressed. We needed world thread, so I decided to make one of the custom multi-blocks for it. Pop him with the stick and he should build the last of it. There we go. Now every 5 seconds it'll produce thread. Okay. Nice. Now we should just have the red being accumulated in the system. I love to see it. Filling the very first of many drives. Deep dark portal. Ooh, damn. God damn. Why did that scare me so much both times? So I don't have it here because my weapon is infused with Enderium, but this is actually the boss that drops the cursed rock I needed, so it'll be back at the base. Check out our chest. Yeah, cursed rock. Only use is blood-infused ingots. We grabbed the last of the components that we were making. These were all easy JEI recipes, so I didn't actually show them. Okay, and with that, we're allowed to craft our inert blood diamonds. We upgrade them while we work on getting the next void resource miner. Upgrade this guy at the same time. Make all 56 of these. 2 ionite crystals pretty fast. Alright, our 5 blood-infused diamonds are done. We craft these 5 blood-infused diamonds with the crystal clusters we got earlier. They're reusable so we don't lose them. Into a retaliation key. I did it the intended method. Okay. Let's make our crystal cluster. Oh, okay. So we can just make our first tier 6. And we'll do that for our crafting altar. We can simply just turn runes of augmented capacity directly into it 1-to-1 instead of 4-to-1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tier 6 altar. Beautiful. Perfect. We'll throw in the crystal cluster too. And putting the extra crystal cluster onto the altar gives us the transcendent blood orb, which increases our personal network a bunch. We make a simple slate storing system that just works on overflowing through each locked drawer until they hit the max amount, and then it works on the next slate. It's fed by an EMC link with stone. Once again, while waiting on slates to upgrade the last of the altars, we upgraded our Void Ore Miner to a Tier 5. And after just a few more minutes, we get a Tier 6 Void Ore Miner, 13 speed upgrades, 7 luck upgrades, means it mines a lot and really fast. Okay guys, this is day 3 and the final day of the streams for this video specifically at least. And after setting up some recipes that we intend to do to get to Creative Flight today, I go and we get a quick little overview on what produced overnight for us. And such again. This guy has been working. I did get on this morning and I put in emerald upgrades. I didn't do that originally because I wanted all these to get to their 2048, but now that we have 2048 of each of these, they all have an emerald upgrade too, so they're going to be like a ridiculous number of stacks whenever they eventually finish. I wanted to get an angel ring today, so I think we're going to focus on that first. Alright, so the first things first. The angel ring requires an arcanium shard. All of this other stuff is actually like, I think we already have. There you go, you can have the extra 2 charger shanks as well. Oh, those melted really quick actually. Was only a couple. Yoink. There we go. Alright. Chicken wing. Squid wing. And, okay. Let's get some soul vials. King charger. Thanks. Charger, king charger. Perfect. Okay, so that's the charger ring. Alright, so we just need our totem of undying. This is what I was actually looking at before the stream started to make sure I could do this. Yeah, we can just make a spawn evoker egg. Super easy. Grab a mob imprisonment tool. Okay, and now it's as simple as we need to go to Arcana. I know that we could have done this way earlier. I just remember doing this way earlier in the first time I played. So I didn't need to wait this long for this. Blue Firestone, blocks of Fantasy. Okay. Make sure we have our dislocator on us. Perfect. Dungeon constructors drop keys. All Arcana mobs drop collector fragments. The keys will open the respective door types and will allow you to get raw arcanium. The arcanium extractor can be found exploring. Okay, so we got this guy. This should have, okay, 40 collector fragments only. Because I'd like to just pick up the constructor and then somehow spawn him in more. Going good constructor. Wait, 2 of them. Yeah, a little bit of each one. All 4. Or our arcanium. Oh. Perfect, arcanium. Okay. And now, with all of that, we have everything for the angel ring. Finally. Some creative flight. An essential. Perfect. Okay, no longer stuck to multi-jump boots and a hang glider. Hang glider, that's it. That's it from you. You're yoinked now. You're dead. And now we get to move on to the best part of my day. Borax. That's it. That's what we're doing today. That borax. And elite plating. Yeah, so we were looking at elite plating. So all of this is good except for DU plating, which we should have everything else in here already though, in mass. And all this needs is uranium-235. Yeah, isotope separator on just normal uranium ingots or uranium. Yeah, we can get tiny clumps from isotope separating any of those normal guys. A quick and basic batching setup for this. I don't need a lot yet. Okay, well while we let that guy go. The whole borax line. Hello guys, this is Editing Chaotic at about 4 AM now, And I made a small setup to show what I did for my borax line, but I'm going to condense this down and actually explain it really well compared to the hour I was just completely fumbling on the stream. So we'll start on the bottom line. So you are going to send granite, preferably from an EMC link, into a rock crusher. This automates it. The third result from the granite in the rock crusher gives you crushed willemite. Crushed willemite goes into a manufactory. This processes directly over into sodium fluoride. Sodium fluoride goes into a fluid enricher with water. Works perfectly fine, gives you sodium fluoride solution, which is then going to go into a chemical reactor along with the other line. We'll cut into that. The other line is a melter. Starts with boron ingots. Also has EMC, so I'm using EMC link, pretty simple. Sends molten boron over. This molten boron goes directly into a chemical reactor with hydrogen. This makes diborane. The funny part about this combination is that this diborane, whenever you split it in the next chemical reactor, which is mixed with water again, gives you boric acid, which is what you need to send down into this one with sodium fluoride solution. This gets you your actual borax solution and hydrofluoric acid. Keep the excess hydrofluoric acid, you'll want this for other chemicals later, and then send the extra borax solution over into your crystallizer. That's your borax. That's the borax line done. That's super simple. One of the convenient things is you actually don't need an electrolyzer for this setup, not permanently at least. Once you get 3 buckets of hydrogen from an electrolyzer, put them manually into this chemical reactor, and then simply feed the hydrogen back into itself with a void excess rule. For some reason, the diborane split with the water is able to extract the hydrogen out of the water whenever you're chemically reacting them for the boric acid. So you actually end up with twice as much hydrogen as it takes to make the diborane. So it's a consistent recursive loop there. Pretty simple little setup. It doesn't take too much effort. This is way nicer, and I'll show you guys a small little clip of my spaghetti I did in the world too. Thank you for watching. Okay, so all of this is finally full of liquids, right? Get that going. So our borax should be absolutely chilling. We're gonna stock up on a ton of hydrofluoric acid. To be completely frank, I thought that was gonna be way more annoying. Okay, crystal binder. We need magnesium dust, calcium sulfate. Hey guys, Editing Chaotic back here once again for round number 2. We're gonna try to hit the calcium sulfate line quickly and get it in around the 2 minutes like the last one. Alright, so we're gonna run the left side first. This is a 2-sided thing, although there's not much on the other side. So you start with sulfur. You can get this either A from your byproduct from your initial borax line, you can get it from miners, you can get it from mystical agriculture, doesn't matter. You need the sulfur provided to a melter. The melter is going to make molten sulfur. That molten sulfur is going to feed straight into a chemical reactor. The chemical reactor is also going to get oxygen from an electrolyzer of any kind. That oxygen and that sulfur, the molten sulfur, are going to mix. They're going to make sulfur dioxide, which goes into another chemical reactor. This chemical reactor is going to use oxygen and that sulfur dioxide that you just made to make sulfur trioxide. Another chemical reactor is going to use that sulfur trioxide and just straight up water to make sulfuric acid. This is going to go into your end-all chemical reactor. Ignore that guy for a second. You're going to have a rock crusher. Make sure you keep the carabite and their zirconium dust. You don't need these for this active one, but you do want these later in excess, so just keep that in mind. But it's going to be producing crushed fluorite. This is coming from diorite. Once again, use an EMC link, super simple. This feeds directly into a fluid enricher with just water. Makes fluorite water. Fluorite water plus your sulfuric acid mixed in a chemical reactor are going to make you 1, more hydrofluoric acid. You can also store this away if you want to, or you can get rid of it. You don't really need like that much of it, but it's good to have. But then the other production here is that it makes calcium sulfate solution. Calcium sulfate solution goes into a crystallizer just as it would, and there you go, calcium sulfate. Pretty simple setup. Once again, it's really not that bad. It's like the mental math that takes us so much longer to do. And also, man, I hate how much cleaner I can make these setups now compared to what I did in the world. You get to see some spaghetti again. I hope you guys like it. Thank you. Then energy. A few hundred of those just because we can. Alright. Now, reconnect it all. That's looking pretty promising. Calcium sulfate, zirconium, and crushed carbonate. Now it's pushing. We do some quick and dirty automations for extreme alloy, tough alloy, and hard carbon alloy. We also do a quick passive of the magnesium dust needed for the crystal binder. A quick detour following the way that we do our other empowerers. We get diamantine both the normal and the empowered variants, automated and passive. After all of this setup, we finally get to begin the craft of our 9 radiation scrubbers for just a singular chunk. 9 radiation scrubbers, finally. Hey guys, Editing Caddick here. I don't even really want to talk about this that much because this is super jank. I use fluid outlets to automate the startle infuser because I did not realize you get a containment chalice from accepting the quest reward. So that's on my bad on that part, but we did it to get resplendent ingots, which we both need for chickens later, and we need it for the coolers for the fission reactors. And we got resplendent ingots working on it. We have tough alloy, we have iron alloy already. Hyperchitinous plates. Gonna need an implosion compressor. That's gonna need him and then 26 reinforced machine casing. The implosion compressor multi-block's pretty easy, similar to the industrial grinders. We put it all together, we feed it with some UC links, and there we go. Nice and passive hyperchitinous plating. That is Enderium base done, also normal Enderium. Resplendent ingots done, tough alloy's been done, iron alloy's been done, hyperchitinous plating's done. So that is every single thing for the empty cooler outside of the fission reactor casing is fully passived. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this bit of a longer episode than the last few. I really do appreciate it. We finally got all of the fission stuff done, and we're not even going to touch it for like 2 more episodes probably. But next episode, we are going to get into some magic, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did make it this far in the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm so much. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace.